Hello friends, welcome to your third trimester pelvic floor support exercises. So we start these anytime in the beginning of your third trimester if you've been cleared for movement and gentle exercise by your prenatal provider. All you need is a chair and a ball. You can find these balls on my Amazon storefront. They are under prenatal exercise and yoga. They are $6.99 and they are a really valuable tool that you will use through pregnancy and through your postpartum recovery. I still use these exercise balls and I'm 10 years postpartum, so they're a great, inexpensive resource to have to keep your body functioning really well throughout your whole life. So we're going to start with a practice today that I call the pelvic clock exercise. And we're going to breathe into 4 different areas of our pelvic floor. And we're going to kind of think of those areas like the face of a clock. So we're going to put that ball right under our pelvic floor. Now these balls are weighted for, I believe, up to 250 pounds. So you don't want it to be blown up all the way. You want it to still have a good amount of squish. So when you sit on it on the edge of your chair, you feel it depress a little bit from the weight of your body. We're going to just practice with some warm-up breaths. So we're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, and it looks a little bit like this. Like you're blowing out a candle. And as we inhale, I want you to imagine that your pelvic floor is softening and spreading over your ball. And as you exhale, you hug baby in and you can feel your pelvic floor contract and lift up away from the ball a little bit. Inhale, feel it soften over the ball. Exhale, lift, squeeze, and feel it pull up and away from the ball. So we're going to focus on the 4 areas of the pelvic floor like they are a clock face, and kind of I'll use some medical technical terms that will describe those areas. So the very front of our pelvic floor is what is called the urogenital triangle. It's how we squeeze off the flow of urine when we're going to the bathroom or shut off that stream of urine. So we're going to lift and squeeze that area and try and keep the rest of our pelvic floor relaxed. And then we're going to inhale, relax. Then we're going to move over to our right side and see if you can exhale, lift and squeeze right side, inhale, soften it back down. Now we're going to move to the back to the area around our anus like you're trying to hold in gas. Lift and squeeze just your anus, and then inhale, relax. Finally, over to the left side, lift and squeeze just your left side. Very nice, and relax. So those are kind of the 4 faces of the clock that we're going to be focusing on. And now we want to try and lift and squeeze all 4 of those areas at the same time. So the area of the front, the left and the right and the back, lift and squeeze. And from here, we're going to hold this for a few seconds. So keep your breath steady. Don't try and hold your breath. And then inhale, release. Very nice. So this is meant to bring you a little pelvic floor awareness, knowing what the difference between a pelvic floor contraction and relaxing or releasing that contraction feels like. All right, so let's move that ball out from underneath. And we're going to bounce back and forth today in between some stretches or a lengthening of our pelvic floor muscles and our pelvic floor support muscles, and a contraction or an engagement of those pelvic floor muscles and the pelvic floor support muscles, because we know that the pelvic floor is supported by things like our inner thighs, our bottom, our glute muscles, and they all kind of work together harmoniously to keep the pelvic floor functioning well. So we're going to go back and forth in between exercises that strengthen and improve function and stretches that help to release and lengthen those muscles. So we're going to take that ball in between the knees. We're going to exhale, squeeze together, inhale, release. You can even take your hands to your belly, and as you exhale, you can feel baby hug in toward your spine, and then inhale, release. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Let's do one more. Exhale, inhale. Very nice. And this is a point of the video where if you want to pause it and do 1 or 2 more sets of 5, you can. So I'm doing one set of each one of these exercises, one hold for each of these stretches, but you can do a couple, 2, 3 sets if you would like. So really it's up to you and your body and how you feel. And we're going to move into that stretch now. So figure 4 stretch, left side. Left foot picks up and over. Now, if you have limited mobility and you need to lift your leg and put it over, please do. And if this is really not comfortable and you find that your knee is really high, you can get something like a bolster, also linked on my Amazon storefront under prenatal yoga, or a couch cushion works well, and you can kind of stick it right under that knee so you have a little support. This may be a pretty intense stretch for some of you, and if it is, that's where support things like bolsters are really helpful. If you have looser hips, if you have more relaxed glute muscles, you might find that you can open this a little bit by just some gentle pressure applied on the inside of the knee. Some people like to apply pressure, some people don't. For me, I always liked a little more, so I would take just a little hinge at the hips and fold over the leg. And I suggest holding these stretches for as long as you comfortably can. Ideally, I like to see my clients that I work with hold these for up to 1 minute if it feels good for their body. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Right side crosses up and over. Use that prop if you need to. Maybe a little gentle pushing or opening. This is fantastic to do if you've had a long drive in the car, if you've been sitting at your desk or sitting for a long time during the day. This helps really release those muscles that are good pelvic support muscles that can carry some tension, and then very gently release the leg. Very nice. So we're going to go into another exercise. So we're going to take the ball on top of our right knee, and we're going to exhale, lift the leg up as we press the hand into the ball, and then inhale, release. Exhale, foot stays flexed, inhale, release. Exhale, inhale, release. So as we exhale and lift the leg, we're also pressing it into the ball, activating our deep transverse abdominal muscles. We're getting into the erector muscles of the spine, the hip flexors. We're kind of hitting a few different muscle groups here. And if you can, try and do 8 on each side. So we'll go ahead and take it on over to the other side. Exhale, lift and release. Very good. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Very nice. Good. All right. So remember, try 8 on each side. See if that's good for you. If you want to throw in an extra set or 2, feel free. We're going to take it into that next stretch, which this is a wide-legged forward fold. So we're stretching the hamstrings here. We're stretching the muscles of the low back. This is also a really good stretch for our pelvic floor, as it provides length for those pelvic floor muscles, and it helps to have some external rotation of these femur bones, these upper thigh bones, in our hip joints. So we want to work on finding internal and external rotation of our legs to improve our pelvic function during pregnancy. So find yourself kind of rocking forward on your pelvis, and then you can just kind of lean forward here and lean your weight into the bolster, or you can find your elbows on your thighs like so. And if it feels really comfortable, you can fold all the way down. If you have a larger range of motion, maybe a greater flexibility in your back, it might feel good to fold all the way down. So when you're coming up, if you have brought your head down below your heart, like so, slowly come back up, bring elbows to legs and take a breath here, and then find yourself coming all the way up. If you feel that you become dizzy when you bring your head below your heart, just keep your head even with your heart. So you can always find it right here. That's still a really, really great stretch without changing your blood pressure or making you feel faint or dizzy. All right, so let's do one more exercise and one more stretch, and then that will complete our 10-minute pelvic floor third trimester exercise. So let's go ahead and come on up to a standing. So finding yourself at your chair, we're going to use the chair for support, and we're going to find ourselves in a lunge. So not a very big lunge here. We're going to have our left foot forward, and we're going to stay high up on our right toes, And we're just going to come down about halfway, and then exhale, squeeze your glute, squeeze through your hamstring, and hug baby in. Inhale, everything lengthens, and then as we exhale, we squeeze glute and hamstring, hug baby into your core. Inhale down, exhale up. Good. And so you would repeat that on the other side by bringing your left foot forward and your right foot back. Not a very big distance in between those feet, notice. Inhale down, exhale up. And you can even bring your hand to your belly and feel yourself hug baby into the spine as you come up. Very nice. And so try maybe 5 on either side. If you're feeling really strong, you can do more, like 8 on both sides. And remember, if you're feeling extra super duper strong, you can go ahead and throw another set in there. Our last stretch is going to be a backward chair stretch. So we're going to find ourselves seated on the chair, and you're going to let your bottom poke out. So we're going to have this nice big anterior tilt of our pelvis. Our feet are just going to rest wherever they come. And if you have a pillow or a blanket, you can fold it on the back of your chair and hold this for 1, 2, 3 minutes. Let your forehead rest on your arms and let your belly hammock forward. And so really lean into this and allow yourself to feel as relaxed as you can. We're working on finding flexibility through the body, but also working things like range of motion. We're working dynamic stretching, dynamic movement of our pelvic floor and our pelvic floor support muscles. We're allowing these broad ligaments at the bottom of our uterus here, our round ligaments, to have a nice stretch. And you can again hold that for 1, 2, 3 minutes. If it feels nice, you can hold it for 5. And then as you come out, just bring your feet down, and you can press either into the chair bottom or the chair top, and exhale to stand. And so that is your 10-minute prenatal practice for your pelvic floor in your 3rd trimester. So remember, my Amazon storefront will be linked with all of the products that you can purchase for this exercise, for these exercises. I also have virtual birth prep sessions, and I will put my email in the description. So if you'd like to reach out to me, you can. This was a special practice for my email subscribers, so it will not be found readily available on my YouTube page. The link is in the monthly email subscriber newsletter that you will get. And I encourage you to check out the rest of the videos on the YouTube page too, because there are some really great videos on there for each trimester of pregnancy, for postpartum. So you'll find a lot of free resources available on that YouTube page. Remember, don't forget to reach out to me if you'd like some virtual birth prep assistance. I see clients from all around the US and really help you feel empowered and confident moving into your birthing day. All right, my name was Jessica Friedman. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Take care.